muted. Thank you very much, Bacon. I literally muted my mic before. Wow. Off to a good start. But here we go. Okay. Mexico. I'll continue what I was saying. So, I'm just gonna want to punch myself sometimes. But the Mexico Grand Prix is a fun track. It offers a lot of areas to pass. That third DRS section, like I'm hovering it over with my mouse, but I can't draw on the screen. Maybe one day, but that third DRS section doesn't really come into play much. It's mainly in the first two that you can see the passes. Someone may set someone up exiting turn 3 into turn 4, or they might just get the job right away and done into turn 1. Of course, it's very... No crash voice. The voice is here now. I should be good now. But yes. No, I see myself registering. I'm good. But yeah, it's all pendant on that exit of turn 17. From what we've seen, it's around 4 tenths will get you through fairly easily, but 6 tenths can be done depending on the ERS management deployment between the drivers in the battle. But anywho, we are already in the lobby here, but we just got drivers coming around the track, so nothing crazy to see here. We'll wait until we get one about to be on his way to start a hot lap. But quickly, we'll get through the results of last week in France. We saw Yoalmir with a surprise win, Ryan Rods with another podium, Scavney second. After this race, we go on to Spa-Francorchamps for the first time in this game. So we'll see what that full schedule comes to play after this race. And next race, we are starting to work our way through the season 2 of season 2 of the 2021 game. So it's but season 5 in total, which is what you see. But anyhow, we got Jacko coming around turn 17 on his way to turn 1. We've got plenty more of little statistics and notes to get to as this qualifying goes on, but we'll ride on board with my former casting partner here in Elma Jacko, currently sitting in 10th in the Drivers' Championship. Gina Twin, you see there, retiring due to a qualifying ban from some of his incidences, feels weird saying that, but incidences through past races. Jacko, of course, setting a purple sector 1. Currently, right now in the Drivers' Championship, Jacko sits in, where is he? There he is, in 6th place. So he's moved up the ranks since he's been launched up into Division 1, and of course a former Division 1 champion, and he's got a long way to go to get that back, especially with the pace that Ryan Rods is showing. And Ryan Rods was not around when Jacko won it. He did, of course, beat out Mystic, and right now goes to the 115.861. Jacko is a very experienced racer and is very knowing of his strategy, qualifying and race heading into it. So he does his homework, and we'll see if that pays off for him. Is that Murphy that hell came over the line with the 115.8. We're gonna have Murphy here. He's gonna go 3rd. Shelly the Turtle, not for a little bit. Scuba Steve, maybe. Yeah, Scoobs. Matt Rosie to follow. Scoobs goes 3rd. Matt Rosie overtakes in 3rd. Dace. Dace takes pole right now in the low 115s. On to Shelly. Shelly invalidates. Cake is behind. Ryan Rods to come over with his first time and goes 2nd just behind Dace. Maybe a banker. We'll have to see where the fastest lap time sits at the end of this qualifying. Smith tells me the first driver over. No, sorry, not the first driver over. Several drivers have already come over with the mediums. Wake up, crash. Mr. Will is invalid. That's not Yoalmir. That be driver into the pit, so it doesn't matter. Possible Bacon next over. He is way off the time, so he's probably just lining up. Scavney as well, lining up a hot lap. Yoalmir, our race winner of last week, to come over next, and there he is, Mystic Joker in the chat. I was just about to get to you, man. Of course, you're having your spot filled right now by Shelly the Turtle. Is your brother Sui comes over 7th right now, and we wish you nothing but the best. I'm happy to see you're in chat, man. Honestly. Here we go. Mystic's replacement, Shelly the Turtle. Get a little bit of oversteer coming around the final turn and goes 2nd, and quickly followed by Cake Thomas going 3rd. So we got all the top 5 drivers, top 6 drivers in the 115s, and all the other mediums, the 116s or 117s. It looks like it's going to be a little bit until we get another driver onto the hot lap, so we will bring up the Drivers' Championship for everyone to see right quick. Ryan Rod sitting in 2nd, Mystic Joker dropping down, or sorry, Ryan Rod sitting in 1st now, Mystic Joker dropping down to 2nd after the unfortunate incidents of Mystic having to get surgery, and Miss Racing would hope to be back with Brian soon as yes, hopefully so. And we wish you nothing but the best and most healthy recovery that you can get. But here we go. We got Scavney in 3rd. Scavney having 2 podiums this year, very consistent. Hash 4th, Possible Bacon 5th, Jacko 6th, like I said earlier. Murph and Selly 7th, part of that dynamic Ferrari duo. Scavney just goes purple in Sector 1 quickly. Helg in 8th, JC Blackley 9th, and Cake Thomas in 10th. And we'll switch back over to the action for everyone. Back on board with Scavney. Like I said, purple Sector 1. Does he go purple Sector 2? So Scavney's putting in a hard lap right now. Now, of course, I call Scavney, if you're have been around Midwest for a while, the better version of Pork Chops. And if you're still somewhat new to Midwest F1 League, Pork Chops is the head commissioner, head owner of the entire shindig. And he is famous for... Yeah, Yoel won last week. It was a crazy race. You should go back and just watch that last like 5 laps, man. It was really nuts. Scavney comes over 5th in the end. Helgs looks to start a hot lap. We have a McLaren of Matt Rosie. We have Will Ans seems to be on a hot lap here. So Will Ans is going to come through the slalom. And before, when I was talking muted, I was saying that you don't hear the phrase slalom used much in F1, but I like to use it, and I think it's a good description of those types of turns. So I'm going to continue to use it, because F it all to hell. Here we go, Will Ans coming through the final couple of turns, doesn't want to get up on that curb at all. It can be taken a little bit. Opts not to, and will come over the line in 5th place. So not a bad shout. Or no, he was already 5th place. Was he? I think so. We got Ryan Rods, no. Now we're also waiting for Jin to kind of pick it up here. Looking at the Drivers' Championship, Jin is actually sitting 2nd last in the overall Drivers' Championship. That is not what you want to see. Right now the top 8 drivers are all on softs. Matt Rosie and Yoalmir, the only ones in the top 10 on the mediums. D2 broadcaster ghosted us. That's not what you want to hear. And he left the Discord. Interesting. Man, I freaking hate slivers. Oh, where's this? Oh. Oh, and Helga's binned it. Oh my god, that feels so good to get out. It's not like they just like hurt a whole heck ton, they're just annoying as all hell. But enough with my life. What do we have going on in the racing world? Well, we have a Ferrari coming around the final turn. That may be Hash. No, that is Murphy. Murphy is going on the softs now. Looks like we just had Yoalmir jump up, and Matt Rosie take pole, being the only driver into the 114s now as well. Matt Rosie finds himself in a little bit of hot water now with having some really poor races to start this season. We finally have the Alpines out on track. Detail and Super Ninas finally going to be attempting their hot laps. Here we go. Detail swinging around the final turn, and he'll come over the line in 12th. Not too bad from the Div 2 promotee. Hash is up on his time right now, so he's going to try and improve. And that gap from 4th to 7th is so very close, so Hash can vault his way all the way into potentially 2nd. And lost some time in the end, actually, in Sector 3. He had it, but it all went away. Impossible Bacon going behind his teammate in 10th. Those two cannot be separated. There we go. Super Ninas has had his first time. Going in 16th. Murphy and Valid, even though way up on his time. We should try and keep it clean. Cake moves up into 12th. This may be set for an infamous Cake poor quali high result. Matt will be back in form, expecting a big battle between Matt, Yoel, and Ryan. Yeah, Yoalmir's kind of has stepped up a little bit, but we'll switch you over to the Drivers' Championship for a second here. Even with Yoalmir's win, he sits 11th, which is kind of crazy to see. It's quite a very interesting table right now through 5 races, but we're only through 5. We still have 11 races to go, including this one here in Mexico, which I will get you back over to. Oh, is that Dace? It seems like Dace is finishing up here. Actually, he's just starting. Alpine into the pit. Scavney's just slightly up on his time. Oh, and he spun. Kind of caught the tail end of that. He actually went off of camera, and he's kind of lucky that Cake Thomas was heading into the pit, or else he would have been in a very poor area. And Sue Wee into the pit as well. So everyone, most of the grid, is in the pit. Only 2 drivers out on track right now, that being Jacko and Murph and Selly. Murph and Smith still have their times on the mediums, so they're going to need to try and attack for a better qualifying result, because those mediums are not looking like they're going to do the job for them right now. But while we quickly have a second here, we'll switch it over to the Constructors Championship, where we see Ferrari take the lead. Mercedes goes second. Alfa Romeo drops to third. Haas has kind of closed the gap. Wow, I timed that perfectly there, Mystic. I didn't even, but yeah. So Ferrari takes the lead, Mercedes second, Alfa Romeo third, Haas in fourth, Aston Martin in fifth. And that's Aston Martin fifth with out Jin doing what Jin has been known to do from time to time. So that Aston Martin, that Green Martin, maybe flying up the table at some point here. Jacko goes purple through Sector 1. Doesn't even look like he has gotten much of a tow. He may get a little bit of help from the McLaren ahead, but actually no, the McLaren pulls off. Yeah, Aston Martin. They were my pick for the constructors this season. Like I said, Ron Bourne with Jacko. And Jacko has lost some time in Sector 2, initially going purple through Sector 1. Now a tow can be absolutely huge here. not sure if there's going to be anyone to get it. And Jacko's able to move himself up into 4th. I think it was Smith Pell. No. Murph and Selly it was. Murph's going to improve on his time and on one position. That is about it. Now my eyes are having to dart back and forth to see if there's anyone coming over with a solid time yet. The Mercs are setting up here. Who do we got? Shelly the Turtle? No. 2 Hosses are pinched. And Matt Rosie's going to be blocked on the rest of his hot lap. He is probably fuming right now. Oh my goodness gracious. And into the pit he goes. There we go, Smith Pell to improve on his time now. He'll go 7th, so massive jump there. Jacko is in the pit. Shelly the Turtle gets a penalty with a collision with Dace, and Dace is out of the session. Shelly's going to come to the pit, and that will be the end for him. Ryan Rods just missed it. Goes 3rd. Does have time to put in one more time. Yoalmir starts his final hot lap. Detail is going to start his final hot lap. We just have under a minute left here in qualifying. Scuba is actually setting up Cake with the toe, so that'll be the end of Scuba's qualifying. Helg is just able to improve on his time, but not on position. And now we got the team order toes coming out here. Will Ans takes fastest lap. So that's even bigger heartbreak for Matt Rosie, as Will Ans was the one who blocked off Matt Rosie's hot lap. Now JC Blackley finishing up his first and only attempt and nearly loses it right on the edge. We'll have time to go around once more. We'll see if I'm able to keep up with all the times coming through. Yoalmir and then Ryan Rods. Quick to follow. No, Ryan Rods into the pit. Detail. As Yoalmir takes fastest lap. Detail can't quite improve. Oh, and Cake Thomas spins in a terrible... Actually, he's alright. Super jumps up to 15th. Over the Ferraris, we got Hash into the pit. And then Murph and Selly up into 15th. Sui can improve on his time. And Nork and Helg and Impossible Bacon can only go 10th. Yeah, there may be some repercussions for Will Ans at the end of this whole thing, because that was a major block. Oh, and Pedro F1 GP, thank you for the follow. Didn't see that. Appreciate that if you're still in chat. Yeah. Were you looking when I was on board with Matt Rosie when he got blocked off in sector 3 there? I went for you last week, Mystic. Nice, Yoalmir. Oh my. Okay. Oh, there we go. It goes. Yoalmir ends up with fastest lap. Will Ans in second. Matt Rosie in third. Dace is the highest American in the qualifying. Ryan Rods comes 5th. Jacko in 6th. We see Scuba Steve in 7th. Smith Pell 8th. Hash 9th. Impossible Bacon rounding out the top 10. Scavney and Helg, the two Mercs, will be the first two drivers that have the option on the same row. Shelly the Turtle, Cake Thomas alongside each other for now, but Shelly the Turtle will get that penalty, so it would actually be Cake Thomas, Murph and Sully, Super Ninas alongside Detail, and then Sue Wee will line up by Shelly the Turtle, and then JC Blackley and Jinnit to win it will be at the back of the pack. So that is how things stand, and you may be curious, well, Crash, how do things stand in Division 2? You have cast Division 2 before. We are interested in what is going on in Division 2. Well, of course, I've got the standings for you right here. NFS Light Work leads the way with Texas Speech right behind, and those are two quick freaking drivers. So if they do end up getting promoted from Division 2 into Division 1, be sure to expect a lot of pace coming up from Division 2 into Division 1 for next year. So it's getting even tighter with every season, and the guys that are coming up in every division and are working their way through the divisions just make the each division quicker, and those are some very fast drivers. And Mitch Burns as well, he's putting in some really good times and really solid results, and he sits third right now. Tiger NASCAR is trying to work his way back up to Division 1, is he not? Or no, who got relegated? It was Random Serious, Soy Loco, and Young DJ CJ. So no, Tiger NASCAR. Tiger NASCAR was very close to getting promoted. I believe that's where I'm remembering his name from. But there we go. GSR Edgar in 5th, Fuse Rogue in 6th, JCast 7th, Houdini 8th, Young DJ CJ 9th, and Evil Prime 10th. And right now sitting in the early relegation zone is Near Nix, Soy Loco, and Forza Juve. So those are three quick drivers as well, because Near Nix nearly had the win in Division 2 last season. So this is there's so much left to play for. But in the constructors battle, we see the Mercedes leading the way there, with McLaren second and Williams third. Haas in their IRL position at the back of the pack, and Ferrari and Alfa Romeo, used to being up at the top in Division 1, are in the second half in Division 2. And what about the podiums, you say? Well, Division 2 has had 5 races worth of podiums, and that's where they stand. And now, of course, at the bottom of the screen, you got that legend telling you exactly how many podiums they have. So with every time they find themselves up on that list, that is another tick to the total podiums. And Dum Me didn't erase the 1, 2, 3 on all the other ones. So, but there you can see podium is left to right, so winner is on the left. So last week Edwin won, with Texas Beach coming second and Lightwork coming third. But that with being Edwin's first podium, Texas Beach is second, and Lightwork's fourth total podium. So if you're any confusion, be sure to ask and I will answer. And as well, you may have tuned in to Tuesday Team Racing 2 days ago, and if you did, you would have saw the results in the bottom left side of your screen there. And if you're interested in next week's battle, it is on the bottom right side of your screen there, so be sure to tune in. We've got a solid standing set so far, 2 teams yet to win, one of them being mine. And they actually don't have 2 losses, they got 3 losses. So yeah, we're doing good at Crash's asses. Ratio Racing has taken penalties. This is why they have 2 wins and only 2 points. And Labatt's 3-pack have found a way to get a point with every race, something that my team has yet to truly accomplish, but we are working on it. And yeah, My Tires Are Dead, led by Matt Rosie, leads the way, with Super Bastards led by Jinnit to win it in second. So those are a couple of fierce teams, and you see the overall standings, or the overall stats, on the right side of your screen there. So a lot to take in, and if you haven't, too bad, because we got the drivers about to line up here for us to kick it live in Mexico. So be sure to hold on to something, because it's about to get fucking wild. No, I'm just playing. I shouldn't be swearing that much, but I do every now and then just for fun. I know. I try not to, and the only reason I try not to is because it's not good for when they try to advertise you or whatever. You don't get advertisement money, blah 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 blah. But anywho, screw that. We'll get onto that later. Yoalmir is underway, and we see all the cars come underneath us. And I think this is an accidental camera angle, but it was actually looked really cool for a second there. And Yoalmir is gonna take the lead into turn 1. No, it's actually Will Ans down the inside line. Yoalmir is gonna kick it around the outside, but he's got to the inside for turn 2, and then around turn 3, Will Ans has to slot in behind. Ryan Rod's in 3rd right now. Matt Rosie in 4th. Matt Rosie falls off a little bit. He's got Dace right behind him. Cake Thomas and Super Ninas may have gotten into it there. And down the inside line goes Dace, and Matt Rosie gives him the room and is forced to take a little bit of that curb earlier than he was hoping for, and takes a little bit too much of it. But he's still sitting well. Elmo Jacko and Scuba Steve battling it for 6th and 7th, and Scuba Steve down the inside line of turn 7. But Elmo Jacko is going to win out and hold on to 6th place. Hash watching on in 8th place, looking for another quality finish to keep up that good streak that he has. Quickly switching over to the position changes. Shelly the Turtle and Jinnit Twin picking up some major positions. Hash going down the inside on Scuba Steve, and Scuba Steve having to defend and pushing Hash out wide, and Hash can't send it all the way deep and around. Yoalmir still holding on to 1st and looking to try and drive away here from Will Ans. But the longer that Will Ans is able to stay close, the better it is, because you can see right now just the slipstream without the help of DRS is absolutely huge. We'll pull up the telemetry and lap data for everyone to see as well. Potential looking like a 2-stop strategy here, but we have seen drivers extend a 1-stop stint all the way through. The help of a safety car can do it, but I'm sure we've seen it done before. Impossible Bacon trying to get Smith Pell, but Smith Pell's just got the pace, and Impossible is just not quite close enough. We'll get on board with Cake Thomas actually, because he's got a... no, he doesn't. But he's working his way back in. He's got the pace to close this gap down on the pack ahead, with everyone being so close. They're pretty much going off of the pace of the leader right now. Everyone's virtually within a second. As I say that, of course, the OG of Helg is the first one to fall out of a second pace of his teammate, but he has some solid pace, and I believe that he'll be able to close that back down. And yes, he has. Impossible Bacon taking a very deep line out at the exit of turn 9, gets himself back on track, and still holding on into 10th place. Jin gets another position on Shelly as Jin's battle through the field is continuing, with him now jumping up into 14th place, and Will and Yoalmir switching fastest laps, with Will Ans taking it, sitting in Yoalmir's slipstream. He's actually holding off on ERS. He's far more... he's used far more than Yoalmir, so that's a good sign for Yoalmir, and not the best of Will. But Will will have the aid of DRS here pretty quick, and Ryan Rods is sitting 8/10ths back. He as well has a decent bit of ERS loaded up, so it's mainly Will that's kind of using the most of it. And now we see the medium tire runners starting to fall back a little bit. Now is probably the reason why Helg was losing pace from his teammate, was being on those mediums where his teammate was on the softs, maybe trying to avoid strategies. Oh, and Murfincelli bins it. And that's one of the Constructors Championship leaders into the wall, and a VSC is deployed. Wow, that came out of nowhere. I don't think he was battling anyone either, to be honest. And yeah, safety cars in the chat. Pork chops, aren't you supposed to be racing right now? Or you just throw your car on autopilot? But Smith Bell is going to see this as an opportunity to be the first driver to pit, and that is exactly what he does. He'll come out and take that cheap pit stop, and by cheap I mean quick in time in comparison to a non-virtual safety car pit stop. And we should see that virtual safety car coming in really soon. And this happens every time. Please, no one with a drive-through, and thank Christ no one did get a drive-through. So we continue on. Okay. So I have to keep an eye out for that. And multiple penalties being handed out to Dace and Hash. We did see Hash kind of being a little over aggressive on the curbs at one moment when we were tuned into him. And it seems to have led to an early 3-second time penalty, and that's not what you want to see only 4 laps deep in this bad boy. Yoalmir has already punched up a second and a half away from Will Ants, and Will Ants is not going to be happy with that, because now that has Ryan Rods with loads of ERS sitting in third, and he's going to slowly catch Will Ants, and he's going to catch that slipstream as well. And Will Ants was actually able to catch a little bit of Yoalmir's slipstream, it looked like, because he closed 3/10 heading into turn 2, or turn 1, sorry. But now goes very deep around turn 3. And now that's just even better for Ryan Rods. So maybe Will Ants has quite the straight line setup here, going purple through sector 1. Scuba Steve and Jacko still battling it out. And you know how annoying Jacko can be in defense. Now I say annoying respectfully. Let me see here. Oh, yellow flag, is that Hash is spun out, and oh no, he's been collected. Helg collected him, and Helg's in a very awful area here. And all these drivers are just barely able to avoid it. And Smith Pell, watch out. Oh, bye game. Okay, we'll be back in a second here. We're just loading back into the lobby, and while we do, might as well say a quick shout out to our sponsor, Raise Energy. Be sure to go and hit !Raise in chat to be brought up to the Raise Energy store and use MWF1 at checkout for 50% off your order, as well as EPOS. Go hit !EPOS in chat, and you'll be brought to the EPOS store for you to check out some quality, high quality, honestly high quality, gaming gear. So yeah, go check that out. EPOS has got great headsets as well as a very high quality mic, rated in the top 10 for all of for streaming mics. Yeah, so like that doesn't tell you anything that I don't know what will. Can't convince you, but here we go. We're back. Safety car is deployed. So I guess I didn't need to rush back. But yeah, we got the safety car deployed. We got Scuba Steve is DNF'd. What happened there? Okay, so Yoalmir came into the pit. JC Blackley and Shelly the Turtle stayed out. Sui as well stayed out. Jin stayed out. What happened to Jin? Oh my god, we missed so much. JC Blackley and Shelly the Turtle both on 6-lap old mediums as well as Sui. Jin looks to be coming into the pit. And we'll be implementing the safety car screen tonight. So what's that? Well, it's this. So why watch the action right now? There's no need. There's nothing going on. You can see anything on the left side there, who pits and whatnot. I'll hang out with everyone while we're waiting for the safety car to come in. We're gonna have to wait a little bit because Jin's on some fresh softs, so he's just gonna probably put in a qualifying lap here to try and catch up. If I know Jin, Jin's just gonna go absolutely crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna be looking this way and looking this way because this way is the camera, and yeah, best POV in the world, right? And this way is the PlayStation screen. So best camera view. Exactly, right? You don't need to see. I mean, why stop there? It could really be that. I mean, what's, and honestly, no, that's the wrong one. We'll just amp this bad boy up a little bit here. We'll do that like that. We'll do that like that. And then we'll do that. So yeah, welcome to the new and improved Midwest F1 League. As you can tell, we're sponsored slightly, so be sure to go check that out. It's high quality stuff, so as you can tell, they pay a lot to use up as much of the page as possible. And Jin, I kid you not, just came into the pit again for another fresh set of softs. So we're going to be running this qualifying cam for a little bit. So still plenty. Oh, safety car is actually in this lap. Oh my god, I'm not prepared for this. Okay. Oh Christ, no. We gotta shrink that. Okay. Shrink it even more. Oh shoot. Shrink that. Okay, we're back green. Oh man. Here we go. What can Yoalmir do? Trying to hunt down these two drivers ahead. There we go. We'll switch. You can watch it a little bit here. I'll fix the rest of it. Okay, there you go. It's fit better now. But it would be huge if Yoalmir can overtake JC Blackley. Toot sweet, as they say in Quebecois. Because if he's able to do so, then that leaves Will Ans out to lunch in his attempt to try and overtake JC Blackley. And we'll see if maybe Will... No, he cannot. Will is just slightly off the pace of Yol right now. Sui is overtaken by Smith Pell, and oh, Sui tries to come back at Smith around the outside, but can't quite get it done. But if it's going to happen, it's going to happen heading into turn 1 here, because Shelly the Turtle is slowly starting to break away from JC Blackley here, and JC does not get a good exit out of turn 17, and that may actually put him in vulnerability to Will Ans, but no, it doesn't look like Will's going to be able to have the pace. And is JC's actually trying to drag Yol down here into turn 1. How hard is he going to fight him? Quite hard, as he breaks very deep and takes a poor line out of turn 3. And now with that, Will is right back on the tail of JC. And it looks like Yoalmir actually has a slower straight line speed setup, but he's able to send it deep around the outside. Should be able to get the move done on JC now. And now JC, after battles Yoalmir all to heck, and then just gifts the two drivers behind the position, and is now in 5th place. Jin takes fastest lap, 41 seconds off the pace of El Majako. That man needs another safety car. But now Yoalmir has got to work on Shelly the Turtle. Yeah, I'm really trying to use the proper, or you know, I'm trying to make it look as professional as proper. You know, with having ads littered all over the screen, I think it's best for the league. But here we go. Yoalmir is going to come at Shelly the Turtle here. We'll see what Shelly can do. Will Shelly defend that hard? Actually, Shelly breaks back off into first place, and yeah, Yoalmir does not have that quick of a straight line speed setup, but is able to get the position done. Has to take a good chunk out of turn 2. And Matt Rosie was able to get through JC Blackley, so Matt Rosie still with a shout at a podium here, staying with the lead pack. Shelly the Turtle doing good to not lose Yoalmir up ahead, but Yoalmir is putting in some really solid lap times. He right now looks like the quickest driver on track. Detail overtaking Sui, as these old mediums for Sui are really making him struggle here. And Cake Thomas with those far fresher mediums is able to get around the outside there. And Jacko's actually gone for some hards here. That's a little bold. Yeah, he has it. Mediums may have tailed off quite a bit. And Shelly the Turtle is not able to keep up with Yoalmir through the second half of the... Jeez, that was late. And Ryan Rods is going to get him too. Now Ryan Rods is actually going to look at the inside line here on turn 1. Both drivers with DRS. Ryan Rods caught the double slipstream here, but isn't able to send it down the inside. Will goes deep around the outside. And now both drivers are going to get DRS again and are going to look to try and close that gap to Yoalmir. And Impossible Bacon loses it around turn 2, and will that bring us another safety car? Yes, it will. So that should catch Jin back up, and that is the second safety car of the night. Now, I did see a couple of safety cars in the chat, so I appreciate that, and I'll send that back into the chat as well. So yeah, if you want those Midwest emotes, there's only one place to get them, and that's through a subscription to the newest F1 League on Twitch. So check it out. What are the tier 1s? It's this and this and this, I think. Are those the tier 1 emotes? I think they are. We might actually be eligible for more emotes. I should look into that. But if you're a psycho, that is our tier 2 emo. So if you're really interested in getting that, then by all means. And there we go. We see Smith Pell and Shelly the Turtle into the pit, as well as JC Blackley. Cake Thomas comes into the pit. Sui as well, which is not really a surprise. And doesn't get held up by Shelly the Turtle at all, but should be fine. He'll probably come back out back of Cake Thomas. And does he? Oh, he just gets ahead of JC Blackley. Wow, so JC Blackley had a 5-second penalty. So JC Blackley went all the way up and fighting for first to at the back of the pack. And now he's got Jinnit to win it, trying to close that gap. Absolute psycho, but yes, come on, that emote is totally worth it. I agree, but now absolute psycho because the Twitch subscriptions have gone up a little bit. So I mean, I won't be shaming anyone for not wanting to, for just being happy with the tier 1 subscription. But the safety car may have been good for Will Ans because Yoalmir was looking like he may have been able to break away. Will and Ryan Rods were able to get the help of the slipstream, but I mean, there's no way to tell now. Jacko holding 10th place. Being the only driver on the mediums, and what happened there? Jacko picks up a 5-second penalty for collision with Shelly the Turtle. That's quite odd because Shelly's in the back. Not sure how that was handed out. Jin may be able to catch this pack. Oh, how's my parlay doing? Well, has the pace to be in the mix for the win, but he's burning way too much for zeros. And he can't, if he can sort that out, he could be, yeah. But, I mean, it's kind of, the rule of thumb is that when one guy's using more ERS than the other, it just means that he doesn't have the pace. And he's having to use more ERS because he's trying to keep up with the pace. Okay. There we go. Jin's back in this race. He's caught the pack. Safety car. The safety car should be in this lap. Take a quick peek at these penalties here. We got JC Blackley sitting with 3, Dace with 3, Hash with 3, Jacko with 5 off that odd situation. Yeah, Jin just may be doing that. He is on a good set of mediums. And yes, there's a confirmation. Safety car will be in this lap. This would be perfect to have a second camera for maybe like a highlight, but that's maybe in the future. But yeah, Super Ninas right now in 6th. The top Alpine, teammate detail, doing a pretty good job right now in 9th. Looking at the position changes, both of them have picked up quite a few spots. So a little bit of a hat tilt to the Alpine crew there. And Matt Rosie was caught way, way off. 2.5 seconds back, and I give a little bit of a hat nod to detail in the Alpine, and commentator's curse comes back to bite me in the ass. So back to the tire compound we go. Scavney gets overtaken by Hash down the straight. Shelly the Turtle is going to try and overtake Jacko real quick here. Jacko will not have the same pace on the turn exit, and Will Ans looked like he went down on, yeah, there is a battle for the lead, and Yoalmir smartly is going to force Will all the way around the outside, but Will does a good job, but Yoel is just able to edge out Will, and Yoel holds the lead even more, almost halfway through this race, and he has not let it go. And whoa, what happened there? Yoalmir cut right through the grass, or was that a glitch? Looked like he just drove right through turn 10 or turn 11 there. Shelly Turtle picks up his first penalty of the evening, and Shelly actually wasn't able to overtake Jacko, but like we said, like we predicted, Jin is already making headway through the pack, overtaking JC Blackley, who's on fresher softs. And now here we go. Smith Pell is going to go for that pass, but we actually got a battle for the lead, so we got to respect that. And Will and Yoalmir make contact, and Ryan Rods is collected as well. Yoalmir is out. Dace goes through. What in the world just happened? Oh my god, that brings out another safety car. Oh my. Yo, clip that quickly. I wanna watch that back. Are you able to clip that, Mystic? Or I can do it actually, don't worry. Oh my gosh. All right. Man. It's tough to see because I don't have the battle for the whole moment. Well, we'll see what takes place. What's your view on that, Mystic? And don't look now, but Jin has found himself all the way up in 4th place. Sui's back in 5th. The ever-changing strategies are all over the place. Oh man, do I need a sub actually? Oh, Doomslayer. Nice. Are you in chat right now, Doomslayer? I gifted 24 subs to this channel, Jesus. Or, sorry, Crash McQueen, whoever that guy is. Whoever that handsome bastard is. Yeah, this is flipped right back into a potential win for Jin, which is major needed. Yoalmir, just absolutely terrible luck. Here we go, we're about to get back underway. Hash is on 12 lap old medium. Smith Pell is on what is labeled as 5 lap old softs, but these are mostly safety car driven, so not very used. Gets caught out a little bit by Hash. Jin gets a pretty good jump on Cake, and Cake is already in trouble here, already swerving to avoid the slipstream. And Jin actually loses out on time. I'm not sure if that was planned, but his teammate Ryan Rod's all the way back in 13th after that collision. Just so much chaos came from that crash, and unfortunately seeing Yoalmir as the solo driver to be out. Now, I'm not saying that I wish there was more drivers out, but I'm just saying it sucked that it had to be the leader and the guy that was arguably the quickest guy on track. A wild amount of swerve. Yeah, quite a bit of swerve in there, that's for sure. Oh, and Dace already on Sui. And Sui on a defensive line around the outside, and he's going to force Dace to go around deep. And Dace does a good job and is just able to swing through. And now Smith Pell is in the slipstream of Hash, which is not good news for Cake, as Cake is slowly falling out, and we'll see if Cake is doing any more of his shenanigans down the straight. It doesn't look like it. Hash is hard defending the inside line, forcing Smith to go deep around the outside of turn 1. Is able to get it done. Hash may be able to switch him back here through turn 3, but no, Smith does a really good job of getting good exit speed. Now Matt Rosie looking to get Sui. Matt Rosie is going to have to go deep around the outside. Sui once again forcing the attacking driver to take the long way around. And by doing so, Matt Rosie is able to make the move stick, and Sui drops into 7th. Will Ann's the next driver behind Sui with far fresher mediums as well. And now Smith is driving off ahead of Hash. Hash will to come into the pit once more, but he's probably going to need to go one more. But you can probably go a couple more laps on these mediums if he's going to switch to mediums. Quickly, I'm going to check to see the race director and what has Hash done. Okay, so he should have another set of mediums to play with. And now Jacko and Ryan Rods are going to be battling out there. Ryan Rods is going to be tough to overtake Jacko. And here we go, Jin once again trying to get through Cake. But Cake seemingly having the aid of the slipstream of Hash ahead. And Jin can't quite get the job done. So no DRS this lap. If you were curious, it will be activated next lap. And hopefully we'll get a nice and open rest of this race, which is what it's been screaming for since lap 1. Oh, Ryan Rods under a little bit of pressure from Super Ninas, and he's able to get the job done. And now he's going to try and hunt down Jacko. Jin picking up his first penalty, and you know what? It being 22 laps deep, that is not the worst thing in the world, because he should be able to clear that penalty if he is able to get through Cake at some point. But Cake is being super helped out by Hash here, but it can be very important for Jin just to get a clean exit here, and he might even be able to get an overtake on Hash as well. So he sits about a second back of Hash. He's got the slipstream of Cake to aid him. Cake's got the slipstream of Hash, and he's closing that gap down, but no, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to get all the way close enough to Hash. Hash hard defends the inside line as we're on board with Jin here. A little bit of contact between these two drivers. That helps out Jin. A little bit more of contact between these two drivers. And now Jin's going to try and switch back Hash, but Hash gets a pretty good launch out. We have Jacko spun out around turn 1 with Ryan Rods. Jin moves up into 3rd place. Cake into 2nd. Now Cake won't have any help from any DRS from the driver ahead. Smith Pell has worked a 2.5 second gap. Hash picks up another penalty. That puts him at 6 right now, so that we've got 2, 4, 6, 8 drivers with penalties now, and only 1 with 6 seconds worth. Dace is right behind. Matt Rosie as well right behind. And these two are on very fresh mediums and are licking their lips with the drivers ahead, running into some deep, weird medium tire compound. So these guys are looking to try and get that overtake fairly soon. Detail now spins out, and Detail's back down into 15th place. Ryan Rods and Jacko at the back of the pack, and I didn't catch what exactly happened to put those two back there. But here we go, on board with Jin. Jin gets a really good launch out of turn 17 here, and he's already into the slipstream, and he's already closing gap within 0.4 of a second. And here we go, Cake Thomas is going to hard defend the outside line actually. He looks like he's just conceding the position, opting for a good racing line. And Jin jumps up into second place, and now he's going to try and work on leaving Cake Thomas in his dust and trying to close that gap to Smith Pell. Smith will have to pit, of course. Jin, I don't know how much wear is on those mediums, but another incident into turn 1, and it's JC Blackley this time, and he collects himself back up into the back of the pack, now sitting in 14th place. And there you can see Jin already pushing Cake outside of second there. Cake is just absolutely drained of ERS as well, and Jin is sitting in a far better position. And yeah, Jin is just pulling right off into the distance, but this is okay for Cake. He could have used the DRS help, but he still got Hash 3/4 of a second back, who's holding up two quicker drivers behind. So Cake can just kind of put his head down and try and pull off in the distance as well to tow Hash along, because if he works his way outside of Hash, that will give free reign for an overtake for Matt Rosie and Hash. But we got to keep an eye on Matt Rosie here. Him and Dace can probably go the rest of this race without pitting, and they should be able to go the rest of this race without pitting. And he's sitting without any penalties. Now Cake as well is sitting without any penalties, but he's going to be hard done by to go the rest of this race without pitting. Hash is going to be in an extremely difficult position. He's actually going to try and come down the inside on Cake here, and Cake just lets him slide through as he kind of overcooks it a little bit here. And Hash kind of pushes Cake out wide, and now Day sees his opportunity, and Cake is going to be fighting for his life here. He's got the inside line coming into turn 7 here, and yes, he ushers Dace nicely to the edge and says, no, not today. This is my position. Thank you very much. Hash, get the heck back here. What the hell is going on here, bro? And with all that happening, Matt Rosie is just kind of sitting in the back, and I imagine he's just kind of saving his tires, really, and he's got quite a bit of DRS saved up, or ERS saved up as well. So he needs something to happen, really, because he's just sitting in the back collecting DRS. And Cake and Dace may be able to get through on Hash here. Smith Pell is finally into the pit for his last pit stop. Probably going to throw on a nice set of softs. And yes, this is a good race. This is a very good race. Mexico's producing some quality content here. And Jin goes up into the lead of this race. Hash sits second. And Jin, like I said, should be able to go to the rest of this race, but he's just got to keep it clean here. And I pray to Christ that he does, because I haven't heard that Brit talk for quite some time. But these drivers are also very close. But oh, Matt Rosie overcooks it a little bit there. He's able to swerve and avoid. But he is just, Matt Rosie is just chilling back there. Absolutely chilling. He's got zero pressure from behind. He's watching everyone just duke it out. They're probably overexerting their tires. A little mistake like we just saw there in turn 8, it looked like, is no problem to him, because he's got DRS and a major slipstream to catch back up, as well as everyone battling up ahead. It just makes it easier for him to catch back up. But like I said, he will need to at some point, you know, just lick the stamp and send it. And he gets a really good run out of turn 17 here. He's actually closing the gap quite a bit to Dace. Ryan Rods picks up a penalty, sitting back in 15th place. And will this be the attempt here for Matt Rosie to get an overtake on Dace? Sends it deep. You can see how late he broke. He's still going to hold alongside Dace, and he's forced up over the curb of turn 2. And now they're going to drag it out of turn 3, and it looks like Matt Rosie's got the advantage here. And he's got a whole heck of a lot of ERS saved up, and that's where it came into play. that 70%. And oh, Dace, no, don't. That is extremely naughty, man. And he is not wanting to give way. And Matt Rosie is going to try and send it around the outside of turn 7, and he hasn't gotten the position in the end, but nearly was put off from Dace. Now Matt Rosie continues on with Dace, using up as much ERS as he possibly can. With this happening, Scavney is back in the battle for the top 5 with Dace with these penalties. Matt Rosie without. Matt Rosie is really got to try and get that within. It looks like he just got DRS there. So he'll get DRS activation. Now it's his turn to try and overtake Cake Thomas. And now with Hash coming into the pit, that'll become a lot easier. And now this is going to get really close. Matt Rosie is going to have a good shout at a win here. With the aid of DRS on Cake, he should be able to get through. It looks like he's had the better pace. And with Jin having a penalty of 3 seconds, and with Matt having fresher tires, this is all really starting to heat up here with 8 full laps to go. But it's all pendant on Matt Rosie getting through Cake Thomas. Now Hash may have been slowing up this pack for a little bit here. That gap currently sits at 4 seconds. How much does Jin have left in the tank? So Jin's actually putting in some pretty good times here. Fastest lap as well. Where's that sit? That sits with Ryan Rods. He's absolutely... Yeah, she hasn't creamed the fastest lap. Right now that is still held by Sadistic King in last year's game. Dace is just trying to get into DRS. And no, oh, really? I don't think he did. He caught up to Matt, and now Matt is right on the caboose of Cake. He's gonna deploy that ERS, and Cake is absolutely dry of it. Dace was just barely able to get it, but is Matt Rosie overtaking Cake Thomas for 2nd place, and now his attempt at a race win can begin. 1.5 seconds virtually separates him from a race win. He's got to make up ground on Jin, which is no easy task, seeing how fast Jin can be. But the fresher tires do help him royally. Scavney as well, sitting in 5th right now, and with Dace's penalties, that should come into play. And Mystic, did you at all notice that Sui is currently sitting in 6th? Now, Smith and Jacko are both without penalties. Smith should probably jump up into 6th at some point in the end, but as well, Smith is on some fresh softs. So Sui's just got to put in some solid lap times here, and he could have a solid 7th place finish, but still a long ways to go. Oh, and Dace and Scavney both clearing Cake. Now Cake does have 16 lap old tires. Maybe these mediums have hit the cliff. Don't think so at lap 16. Jin's still putting in some pretty solid times. 17 laps deep on his tire compound. But we'll see if Jin's tires do hit a cliff, and I'd like to be informed on how much percentage he has at the end of this race. But don't want to jinx anything. We still have 6 full laps here. Jin does lead us with 4.5 seconds ahead. Matt Rosie is just sitting behind with virtually 1.5 seconds off of Jin's pace with that penalty. But Jin is putting in some really good laps. Matt Rosie looking for his first podium since race week 1, I believe. Yeah, so race week 1 was where we first talked to Matt Rosie all the way back in Abu Dhabi. Actually, all the way back last year, to be exact. Scavany's making a little bit of headway on Dace, but not going to be able to get close enough here entering turn 1. But a solid exit at turn 3 may be able to give him a shot going into turn 4. But Dace is a man of pace, and he does a really good job on the exit and won't allow any sort of opportunity there. Smith Pell, as expected, gets through on Sui. And Sui has got to make these tires last. Super Ninas may start having the advantage pretty soon. So it didn't even look like Shelly the Turtle wanted to battle Smith Pell at all, kind of knowing that Smith Pell was just going to blow by. And I mean, it's a crazy shout, but we'll see if Smith Pell is going to be able to maybe catch back up to this pack. All the drivers ahead on some very old mediums, while Smith is on some fairly fresh softs, but it's quite the shout, really. So 3 safety cars, 5 DNFs, a virtual safety car, a divorce, and a new baby born is how we got to this position in this race. Scavany's trying to work himself into 3rd, looking for another podium to be exact, actually. And that'd be back to back. The win is probably out of reach for Scav here, but we'll see. JC Blackley gets overtaken by Detail and Will Ans, and Detail and Will Ans are gonna kind of half-heartedly battle it out. Detail kind of knowing that he doesn't have much of a shot against Will with those fresh softs. And Matt Rosie picks up a 3-second time penalty, and that virtually does it in. Jin may have been on for another penalty, but now with Matt picking up his, he needs Jin to have another penalty to have any sort of chance. We'll take a quick peek at the race director, see if we can pull up anything. So there's Jin exceeding. Where's Jin exceeding warning? Jin exceeding penalty. Exceeding, so 1, 2. Okay, so Jin is sitting with 2 penalties. And we'll perfectly join back for Super Ninas going through on Sui. But Sui's just got to keep within 3 seconds to Super Ninas here. Sui is sporting some very old mediums. So, just gotta remember here, and there it is. That brings the chance back to Matt Rosie. Matt Rosie is looking to get and close that gap now. That penalty is huge. But Matt Rosie's got some old tires. Jin's got older tires. How much of a difference in pace is there really? These guys have matched each other's pace ever since Matt Rosie was able to get through Cake. Now Matt's actually got to be... Matt's actually in a little bit of trouble here. He's only 9/10 separated from completely losing this, but nope, that's wrong. That is wrong. Nope, it's just over a second. Yeah, just over a second separated from losing the podium to Cake and Scavany. So Scavany, like I said before, was set up to have another podium. Ryan Rods gets through on JC Blackley. Cake is kind of falling off the pace of Scavney here. On lap 35 and 36, Matt Rosie is actually taking a half a second off here. Keep an eye on his intervals, as well as Jin's intervals. So he's about to finish sector 1. And he is just about a half a second off of his pace. And Matt Rosie is about 6/10 off of his pace. So these guys are virtually matching each other for speed. Their fastest laps being similar, so the closer that Jin stays to his fastest lap, the better. Here we go, 8/10. 5/10. Okay, so Matt is a little quicker, about a 10th or so quicker in that sector. But he needs to be way quicker than that. He's only got 1 lap left, and he's got to close an entire second to have any sort of shout here. And Jin did have a full set of fresh exceeding track limit penalties to work with before he gets another one. And I'm not sure Matt's going to be able to get it done. He is absolutely out of ERS. Jin has just got to bring it home clean, and it'll be his first podium of the season. Sui drops. He's actually coming into the pit. Did he have a puncture? Or does he... Oh, he didn't pit for mediums. Oh, that... rough go. But, anywho, coming in sector 3, we see Jinnit to win it. Coming around the final couple of turns, of course, the fireworks go off. And Jin just got to get around turn 17, and he will lock in his first win in Season 5. Gets the job done. Hard earned from Jin, starting in last and finishing in first. Scavney just edges out Matt Rosie for second in the race, but I'm sure Matt Rosie is okay with that. He still gets his podium. His, like I said, his first podium since race week 1. Days coming over the line in a very well hard fought 4th. Cake Thomas in 5th. Smith Pell with some solid points for the McLaren team, pinning for those softs, having to give up the lead. But it was probably the smart move in the end. Coming in 6th. There we go. Finish that thought. Shelly the Turtle in 7th. Ryan Rods works himself back up in 8th. Will Ans 9th. Super Ninas 10th. Detail 11th. JC Blackley 12th. And then Sui having to finish on his fresh softs in 13th. And Jacko comes over in 14th. Yeah, it was a crazy race. Oh my god. I'm happy that the safety cars stayed away in the end there. Alright, who do we want? Obviously the podium. Who do you want? Who do we want? Wait until you see my lap where I got a rear puncture. Scavney misses off from a win by 1 second again. Honestly, we'll bring... I mean, Shelly the Turtle. No, we'll bring Cake. I haven't talked to Cake for a while. But here we go. Final result. We see Jin, Scavney, Matt, or Jin, Scavney, Matt is your podium. Dace and Cake Thomas finish off the top 5. Smith Pell, Shelly the Turtle, Ryan Rods, Will Ans, and Super Ninas are the top 10. Detail, JC Blackley, Sui, and Elmajako, as well as Hash, are the last of the finishers, with Yoalmir, Possible, Scuba, Helg, and Murph, who will not be getting any points from DNFing, of course. So if you patiently wait, we will get the drivers in for some interviews here. While we do wait, we'll do this. Rose is in. Well, now that was a pretty freaking good race. I'm not gonna lie. There was a lot of quality there. Some heartbreak. Yoalmir could have had the win. Was on pace for the win. With the spin, it brought Jin the win. So, you got to be happy for Jin because he found himself back on the podium for the first time for a while, and that's good to see. As well as Matt Rosie gets himself back on the podium for the first time for a while. I need to look at the camera. I should look at the camera. I should stop looking at the screen. I should look at the camera. Okay. As well as Scavney. Scavney gets himself back on the podium for the first time for a while. Just kidding. He was just on the podium last week. So another close shout for a win there from Scavney. So very well done from him, and we'll get him in the interview real quick. And it looks like all the drivers are in. So here we go. Okay. Can we get Jin mic check? Jin? Jin? Janet? Did you guys hear Jin before?
No.
No. So you may be away. Okay, so Matt, your mic works. Cake, mic check?
Yep, here.
Yes, loud and clear. And Scavney?
Yep, I'm here.
Alright, good stuff. Jin, any time now would be great. Hey, Dwan. Good to see you in chat, man. You just missed a really good race. Oh, Jin, you bastard. Why do you have to do this to me? You know what? We'll go reverse order. No, we can't go reverse order because I always do Jin first because he lives in England on that godforsaken island. Well, anywho. Matt, I see you haven't set your lineups for the fantasy hockey team. What's going on here, dude?
I just wanted to let you catch up.
Yeah, I was thinking that. You just chalked it up?
I'm gonna be honest, I totally forgot it existed until right now.
Yeah, I know. I find that I'm in another league with my buddies, and this one kind of comes second fiddle. And by Jin. But okay, here. Okay,
Oh,
Jin. Jin. 1 second. Jin. 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 Let's try. Jin?
Are you
Hello?
hear me?
Oh, what the hell? Why is... Okay.
Can you hear me, Crusher?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I don't know what the hell is going on here, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anywho, we're all good. We can hear you. Quickly, Cake, mic work again. I had to create a new channel.
Yep.
Yeah, Matt Rosie, Scavney.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we're good. That was weird. I literally had to create a new voice channel to get your audio. All right, whatever. And OG Doomslayer, no worries for gifting the sub, dude. Anytime. But all right, Jin, finally back on the podium and back in the win column for the first time for quite some time. Won't you first tell me how that's feeling while I search when the last time you got a win was?
To be honest, I don't know how I pulled that one out of the bag. When there was that pile up in the stadium section and Scuba Steve crashed, I ran over his wing, got a rear left puncher, and then a safety car come out. So for the next 2.5 minutes, it was me trying to get to the pit lane to keep on the lead lap. If I wasn't on the lead lap, I wouldn't have won that. It took me about 2.5 minutes to get from the pit exit back into the pits. And then I got effed over by the safety car starting 3/4 of a lap behind. So I had that. So I was gambling on another safety car to bring me back in. So it was just totally just hanging in there and not giving up. That got me the win.
Yeah, I mean, I made a point of it in some area where I was just like, this guy's praying for a safety car. If he gets a safety car, then he'll have a shot. But you're teetering on the edge of being a lap down and virtually out of the race. But yeah, just very well done of putting your head down and you got that luck given to you, which you can be labeled as an unlucky driver from time to time, and it kind of came back today to benefit you, to aid you into this win.
It did, yeah.
So
I'll take it.
as well, your last win was in race week 14 of last season. And last season you actually had 4 wins, and this is your first one in race week 6. So what has kind of led to your struggles here for this season in comparison to last?
I don't know. There's always, I race in a few leagues, and with every season there's always one league where the bad luck sets in, and it seems to be this season. With Midwest, that's the start of it. That's just been bad luck constantly.
Yeah.
But
go ahead.
I just stuck in there today, and luck prevailed.
Yeah. I mean, you put in some quality laps as well, and as well. How worn were your mediums at the end of your stint there?
About 60%.
Oh, okay. So there's actually a lot left in them. I thought. So how is Mexico normally on for tires?
You could do, if you started a P11, you could easily do medium soft. If you had fresh sets of tires, easy, medium soft.
And that's even without an aid of like a safety car or anything.
No, you can just do the race medium soft.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Because it was initially showing at the beginning of the race a 2-stop strategy, but I know that 1-stoppers have been done plenty of times in Mexico. So yeah. But kind of entering this race, sitting in the back of the pack. This is my final question, by the way. Sitting in the back of the pack, what was your mentality off the start? And obviously it changed in the end. But what was your mentality initially off the start of this race?
Just keep it clean and just let it unfold and see what I can pick up at the end.
Well, I mean, really. you did a partial of that. I'd like to say you didn't even go with your strategy, because in the end you didn't really keep it clean. You spun out, did you not?
I spun out in the race. Did I spin out in the not during green flag race? I spun out on the off Scuba's wing. I ran over his wing. It was an instant rear left
Oh,
puncher,
that's what.
and then
Oh,
I
I
went
saw you
straight
mention
into
that
the
you had a
wall.
puncture.
I went straight into the wall. That should have been a DNF there and then. And then somehow my engine was still going. I had to let cars past, and then it was just the trudge, hoping I could stay on the lead lap to the pit lane.
Okay, all right, okay, I got you now. I didn't know that. I saw you mention the puncture in the chat there, but as well on the second part of that, you said to let the race unfold. You absolutely took it by the nuts off the race start. You picked up so many positions. So I mean, man, you didn't really let it unfold. You were kind of just a bull going through there.
It didn't seem like I was like aggressive. It's just places just kept coming to me.
Yeah, I guess with pace, positions naturally open up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but okay.
But there was no contact with anyone. I just, apart from me and the wall, that was it.
Yeah. So actually, okay, final quick. Was there any risk of you actually being DNF'd from picking up the puncture?
Nah, it was just horrible. I couldn't turn right without the back end coming round. So
Okay.
luckily, I recorded my race, so I'll upload the whole clip of me getting back to the pit lane, and it is treacherous.
Oh yeah. Where did Alonso do that? He rode it back on 3 tires. I can't remember.
It's crazy. So I wouldn't wish that on anyone though. That is horrible.
Shut up, Matt.
Especially doing it at the start of the lap as well.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, very well done. Congratulations on getting a win.
Thank you.
We'll see how you can do next week where we go to Spa. So that's a fun one. So best of luck there, man.
I'm going to get off that crash because it is 4 a.m.
Exactly.
Cheers for commentating again.
No worries, man. Well done again.
Cheers, DJs to Scavney and Matt as well. Well done, guys.
Yeah, GG's.
But there we go. With that being said from Jim, we wish him good night, and we will step on to Scavney. Matt, I was just kidding with saying shut up. Where was the Fernando 3-tire one?
It was in Baku. I think he only had 2 tires.
Yeah, I think you're right. 2 tires. Yeah. It was yeah, that was impressive as all hell. But okay, thank you.
Shut up.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, on to Scavney. Man, I saw your message in chat once again. 1 second off. Now, I'm sorry. You can hear the smirk. I imagine the people watching can see my smirk, and I cannot react to sad things. I laugh, and this is sad. And you are so freaking close to a win, man. And oh my God, it's excruciating. But man, another solid race from you, beginning to end. You put in such a hard-fought podium effort and another second place. Screw any thoughts about just missing out on a win. Tell me just how it feels to have another podium this season, because that is a very high accomplishment that you've done.
Yeah, it's definitely good. I mean, I was expecting to fight for some podiums this season, but it's been pretty good compared to what I was expecting. I mean, I didn't think it was going to end up that way tonight, but things just kind of fell my way. I knew if I kept it clean, I was going to have a chance, and it worked out for me in the end. But yeah, another solid points day. So, I mean, the championship's starting to open up. There's a long way to go, but it's only five different points difference from first to second. So it's all about just being consistent.
Yeah, man, it is very tight. And quickly, you just brought up the Drivers' Championship there, so I'll pull it up for everyone to see. But now, what was your thoughts in the last 10 laps there? Because as things kind of slowly unfolded with penalties being handed out, left and right to drivers here and there, Matt Rosie getting his, Jin getting his. Won't you kind of run me down through the final stretch of what was going through your head on getting another podium as well as having a potential another shout for a win opportunity?
Absolutely. I knew those were always going to play a factor towards the end. I just wasn't exactly sure how it was going to play out, so I was just keeping track of my deltas. I was following Dace for the longest time. Luckily, I kept grabbing the DRS, which helped quite a bit. I mean, I knew it was going to be close. I was just hoping and trying to avoid picking up a penalty myself, because I picked up 2 straight warnings at the same corner. I think it was lap 27 or 28.
What?
So it was all about just keeping focused. It was the last right-hander in the S's.
Oh,
Twice
okay.
in a row. It was all about just keeping it clean and basically running quality lap after quality lap over and over again.
Wow. So you were full tilt there. You weren't in a groove or like kind of just. I mean, obviously you were in a groove, but you weren't like kind of in like a vibed out, just pump it in solid turns kind of vibe. You were in a push kind of vibe.
In a way, I was mostly just trying to keep it clean. I was hoping if I could slingshot past Dace, but I just couldn't quite do it, so I was just content to just sit within the DRS and let the penalties do their thing. So it was just keeping it clean and letting it work out in the end.
Yeah, great job of that once again, and you're turning into a more handsome and better quality version of pork chops as the days go on. So keep that up, and the win will fall your way. I don't even think pork chops has got a win, so don't even feel bad, because pork chops has been racing way longer than you have. So if anyone to feel bad for him.
I totally understand that. Long way to go this season, so we'll see.
Yeah, still plenty of races to go, man. So you'll get it, man. It'll come. It'll come. If Will Ans can get one, or then you can get one. So yeah, best of luck for the rest of the season, and as well, best of luck in Spa.
Thank you.
No worries. All right, Mr. Rosie. Matt.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to unmute.
No worries, no worries. So, okay, you're back on the podium now. First time since race week 1. Now, you were having some real unfortunate results for several weeks there, and you are technically in the relegation battle, but this podium is going to launch you up and out of it. Why don't you tell me on how much of a monkey off your back feeling you have right now?
Yeah, I mean, it feels good. Just to finish one race without spinning. I feel like it's just been one mistake every single race. Even in the first one where I had the floor damage, just every race has been one mistake, and then this race, my only mistake really was picking up the 3-second penalty. But other than that, I mean, pretty happy with the way I drove. Definitely feels good.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of mentioned on stream at the end there that that penalty was probably the difference of you getting second and third, but I mean, probably right now you're just happy with kind of putting in a solid result and getting that podium.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Stabney kept it clean. Mexico's a really tough track to keep it clean on too, especially through those S's. So, and he kept it clean with pace. So I mean, all the credit goes to him. I mean, I had good pace. I'm just pretty happy to be on the podium, to be honest.
Yeah. As well, won't you kind of talk me through your final qualifying run there, where you kind of ran into a couple of Haas drivers?
Yeah, I was double purple.
Yeah, I noticed that as well.
Yeah, I think I would have been on pole, but
so that was
who knows now? Who knows?
That was about as good of a lap as you could put in for, or that you were going to put in for Mexico.
Yeah. But I mean, there was a lot of traffic. It's hard to know who's on a hot lap and who's not.
Yeah.
And I mean, as soon as Will noticed you out of the way right away, it just was just like, if he was a second earlier, I would have been fine. But it was enough that I guess I probably could have kept going, but rather not risk getting a 5-place grid penalty and ruining both of our laps versus just letting off and I guess taking third. I think I qualified in third, right?
Fucking shit. I just punched my controller. Oh god. Okay. Yeah, but I'm trying to get my brain back. Yeah, man. Well done again, though. Congratulations on getting that podium. Like I said, well deserved. Your days are numbered in the hockey pool, though. Let that be known. I'm coming for you. I'm closing the gap now.
I'm gonna start setting my lineup again. We'll have to see.
Well,
hopefully hopefully I won't stop spinning so we can actually talk about the pool.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We were able to talk about it early last season, but it kind of went away. Let's see if it'll actually come up on the screen here. Oh, the game crashed again. Okay, here. Let's see if that. There you go. So that's the standings for the hockey pool. You can't really see the names, but Matt Rosie's Dusters are leading the way, and Guido's Garage, which is me, is in second on the chase. So things are starting to heat up, but
All right, we'll see.
well, yeah, we'll see. I'll see you in the finals. How about that?
All right, let's
Okay,
go.
sounds good. All right, once again, congratulations, dude. Best of luck in Spa.
Thank you. Congrats to Scapney and Jen as well. Heck of a race by both of them.
Yeah, it was good stuff all around. From lap 18 on or whatever, when the final safety car came in, it was nothing but quality. So yeah, go watch it back. All right.
All right, later.
Sounds good. Have a good one. On to Cake, Mr. Thomas. So is your first name
Hello.
Cake?
No, my first name's Thomas.
Oh, what the hell? Then what's Cake? What does the cake stand for?
Doesn't stand for anything. I don't know. I just came up with it. Not really any relevance behind it.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, I changed my name to Crash McQueen because mine was too early high schooly, so that needed to be, switched up. So.
I got you.
Yeah. And then I felt like Crash McQueen was somewhat of an oxymoron in a way that has levels to the name, to be honest.
Yeah, I like it. I honestly like it. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, because obviously, of course, Steve McQueen and Lightning McQueen, obviously, and then there's their ugly, shitty at racing cousin Crash McQueen. It sucks. All right, we'll get on to the race here, man. So I actually called it. Now, where'd you qualify? You qualified in the back 10, right?
Yeah, I was P14 in quali, and then I got P13 because I think Shelly had a 5-place grid penalty.
Yeah. Okay. So I somewhat called it at the beginning of the race, where I was saying this is going to be one of those random Cake high finishes. All right. I might even said podiums because you qualified so back in the pack. Now, won't you run me through why you qualified back there to start?
My first 2 quali laps weren't that good. And then on my 3rd lap, I was actually up, I think, 4 tenths going into the S's, and then I just lost it in the stadium section. But I think if I would have been able to get that lap in, I would have started top 8. But I just made a mistake late in the lap.
Okay, fair enough. So then, all right, now you're lined up 13th or whatever it was. You went for the mediums, didn't you?
No, I started on the softs.
Okay, so what was the reasoning for starting on the softs there?
I honestly wasn't sure what the strategy was going to be. I couldn't remember if the hards were a good tire or not, so I just decided to start on the softs to see if I could make up some spots at the start and then figure out my strategy as the race went on. But I actually got I don't know if it was my fault or somebody else's, but I got tagged coming out of the first chicane. I actually spun out and went back to last, so I had my work cut out for me right from the start.
Yeah, and those safety cars really helped you out as well.
Yeah, definitely.
But okay, so now you're in the final couple of laps. You're got a shout for a podium here. You've kept it penalty clean, as well as how many warnings did you have, if any?
Just one. I got one lap 25 or 26.
Okay, so what was the pressure of having Jin behind you there? Because you kind of held him up for a bit, but he ended up getting the position in the end.
Yeah, I honestly thought I would be able to hold him off a little more. I knew once we got to the DRS zones, he was going to be able to get around me, so I didn't really fight it too much, but I was hoping I'd be able to stick with him, but I made a couple mistakes on the lap and lost DRS, and then from there I was just trying to find a place where I could set in and just settle and run some laps, but I kept getting caught out in the DRS zone and losing spots that way. And then late in the race, I was hoping that I think it was Scavney and Dace were battling. I was hoping one of those guys would slow each other up and get me in that 3-second window so I could overtake one more car, but did all I could. But I'm not that good at Mexico. I was only hoping for a P10, so to get in the top 5 is definitely a good result, especially since I had the DNF last week.
Yeah, I did. I did make note that you had an outside shout for the podium at one point, but it was just Matt Rosie had just a little bit too much pace and was just able to separate himself enough from you. But did you see how much the gap was in the end between you and Matt?
I think it was maybe like 3 seconds or so. It wasn't too big. He just had a little too much pace for me tonight. Like I said, I'm not that good at this track, and I wasn't too on it on the strategy, but I'm satisfied with the P5 for sure.
Yeah, yeah, quality finish. So how about going into Spa next week? What can we expect to see from you?
I'm hoping if everything goes right to get on the podium or fight for the win. That's one of my favorite tracks, and it's one I had circled on the calendar since the start of the year when the schedule was released. So definitely have high hopes for next week. But anything could happen. So just gotta try to stay clean and get some good preparation in this week, and hope everything goes my way next week.
Yeah, well, cross your fingers, man. You deserve to be back on the podium as well. You've had a little bit of a hard-fought first little bit here as well. But why don't you actually quickly why don't you run me through on the difference of last season to this season on the overall pace of Division 1?
I would say it was honestly really good last year and really good this year. I would say the like pace out front, I think it might have like got reeled in a little bit. Like the people out front, I don't think are as far away, and I think that the back of the pack also moved up a little bit. So I think this year the gaps are definitely closer, especially in like the like from P5 to P12. There's usually only like 4 or 5 tenths separating us in qualifying. So it's definitely really tough this year. Good competition all the way from P1 to P20.
Yeah. Well, it just makes a top 5 all the more impressive. So well done once again, and best of luck heading into Spa, as well as the rest of the season. Hopefully, I'll be able to talk to you again at some point.
Thank you very much.
No problem, man. Enjoy your night and as well as your weekend.
Thank you. You too.
All right. See ya. And that is it for the interviews. Thank you for tuning in, and as well as listening to the perspectives of what went through on the driver's side. Once again, a reminder, Jin with the win, Scavney in second place, Matt Rosie rounding out the podium. Cake Thomas had an overall solid race, and I felt that he deserved himself a interview slot as well. So, but one final reminder, the schedule goes to... There it is. Schedule sees us in Spa. You heard us bring it up a couple of times here in the interviews, but you can see it for yourself. We've got Spa and Portimao and Barcelona, so and Imola. Somewhat of a European trip we're actually taking right now, or we're going to be taking. Swing down to Mexico for this race, which was a very exciting one. The first 9 laps did have its troubles, but from that point on, or the first 16 laps or so, had its issues. From that point on, nothing but quality, nothing but good fun racing, and a very close finish in the end, and a heartwarming result, really. So this race had it all. So be sure to go check it on the YouTube channel, as well as go check out our sponsors, that being Raise Energy and EPOS Gaming. So exclamation point Raise and exclamation point EPOS in the chat, or exclamation point sponsors will bring up both for you. So go check that out, as well as our Twitter and Instagram pages. They do a great job there, and could use your support, and as well any sort of interactions that you've got, likes, retweets, replies, anything. They're always ready for any sort of questions to do with the league, so go check that out. But yeah, that's about it for me here. Enjoy everyone enjoy your weekend. Hopefully I'll see you back with myself hosting Team Tuesday Racing. And other than that, best of luck to anyone who has earned the Chinese New Year. So yeah, Year of the Tiger. So yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. As per usual, I've been Crash Queen. We have been the Midwest F1 League, and good